Hello, I'm Bill LeMay, and thank you for watching Community Matters. We'll hope you continue to watch as we discuss issues facing our community and provide you with the resources and information needed to find solutions. Welcome to Community Matters. Nothing is more important to a parent than their child's safety. For many parents, a school bus stop located on a busy road with morning traffic is nerve-rattling. Today we're joined by Kevin Harrison, Section Chief of the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction Transportation Services, who is here to discuss school bus stop safety. And Kevin, welcome.
Thank you.
Did you take a bus on over today?
No, I did not. I had to drive from downtown Raleigh, which is harrowing enough on its own.
It is, it really is. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself? And boy, I'll tell you what, that's a heck of a title. What is some of the things you're in charge of?
So a little bit of background on me. I graduate of NC State University in economics, and I've been working for the Department of Public Instruction since 2005. I have been the Section Chief for School Transportation Services now since 2017. So I'm new in this role. Our section generally deals with four major things, which is transportation funding of the school districts. So we deal with the funding formula for North Carolina and state support of those transportation operations. I also deal with school bus specifications. All North Carolina school buses are built to the same specifications throughout the state, and purchasing as well. And then we move to inspection of those vehicles, both when they're received and then throughout the year. School districts are required to inspect them monthly. We come around each year and sample some of those inspections, make sure, do our own inspection with inspectors and make sure that everything's going well, and we report back to the superintendents. And then really the last major piece that we deal with is law and policy. So we deal with law and policy. We provide data to the legislature and the State Board of Education and recommend policies and laws to support safe school transportation.
Speaking of school transportation and making it safe, I mean, schools, kids, buses, they've been around, well, for all of our lifetime. I mean, and yet it seems as though we always have to be reminded about being careful, being aware of school buses and the potential dangers there. Could you tell us just a little bit about that? I know it's probably redundant for you because you probably do this a lot, but you know, it's that time of year again when people are busy doing other things and maybe forget that there are kids and there are school buses.
Certainly. School buses you're right, school buses have been around a very long time and they have evolved a lot over the years. The first school buses were open air. And when the first motorized ones came in, there were no stop signs or flashing lights. I mean, the driver held a flag out of the window to try and stop. There were no laws, backing up that type of transportation, or even protecting kids at stops. You were sort of on your own. You get out into that road, you're on your own to make it across safely. And we've come a long way from there. Now there's laws requiring motorists to stop. The school buses have more lights on them than ever before. They've got strobe lights on the top, red lights, yellow lights. And even from my generation, you know, growing up in the 80s in school bus transportation, I mean, it was, you know, they didn't even have yellow lights way back then, and mostly red lights, and sometimes buses would come up to the stop still moving and with the red lights on. It was very different. And I remember some of those old white triangle signs on school buses. It's a very different type of thing now, but in essence, the problems are the same, which is that we need to get kids safely to school, and the most dangerous portion of that journey is getting the kid from their house and into the vehicle. Once they're on that vehicle, they're extraordinarily safe. But that portion of time from the road and into the safety of that school bus is the most difficult.
What are some of the potential dangers? I think some of them are probably obvious, but I mean, as you say, we've been doing this for a very, very long time, and yet it seems we're still dealing with the same potential dangers. What are they?
The biggest potential danger is cars and students. Okay, so if a car is illegally passing a school bus and a student steps into the roadway, that student is in an extreme amount of danger. It is then incumbent upon everybody involved to sort of get out of that situation. The biggest danger is that, and it's distraction.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I mean, how do you, in this day and age,
Yeah.
you see a school bus,
Yeah.
and my goodness, you can see it from space with the lights on it,
Yeah.
and people still pass school buses illegally. Is it distraction?
I mean, I can't say for sure, but I think that's a big part of it. There's been a tremendous amount of education, public messages. The State Highway Patrol does things every year with regard to school bus stop safety and when you're required to stop. But it comes down to, and I really don't think anyone who is driving, who is not impaired, and is looking at the roadway is not going to hit someone in the roadway. But people still do it.
It happens every year.
And it happens every year, and it's tragic, and it's where all of these factors intersect with each other. So in order to solve that problem, we need to address it from all sides, because we can't just rely on everybody to do the right thing.
Well, you have your neighborhoods, right? 25-mile-an-hour roads.
Sure.
Kids come out to the corner. I mean, I remember that. But you also have highways, county highways, and they're doing, well, they're supposed to be doing 55, they're doing a heck of a lot more. How does that change the scenario, or does it?
So I think largely the scenarios are the same. We have kids, we have a road, we're crossing the road sometimes, we're stopping, we have a vehicle stopped, even with lights on, and we have other vehicles approaching it that are moving. The situations are similar, but the speed at which everything unfolds is different. And so at 25 miles an hour, everybody has a lot of time to react to what's going on if the situation changes. If you step into the roadway and a car comes around the corner, you can get on the horn faster as the bus driver, you can warn the student. A student can recognize the incoming danger and have more time to react. But when it's 55 miles an hour, or if somebody's going 65 miles an hour in a 55, that distance is closed exceptionally fast. And situations move much more quickly, they're much more fluid, and people have to react far faster to solve that same danger, resolve that same danger.
I mean, it's crazy that we have to talk about this every year, but I'm glad you're here to do it, and don't you go away, because Kevin will be back with more safety tips. Stick around.